Next type of public building is hotel. Okay. Now we will discuss about the hotel. Hotel is nothing but it is a superior type of building to accommodate strangers. Is nothing but the hotel, and it provides lodging and boarding. That is the arrangement for comfortable stay, and customers are charged according to the nature and period of accommodation they avail. Okay. Another thing is there, that is nothing but the motel. Okay, similar to the hotel. Okay, motel is a type of hotel by the side of a road to provide food and accommodation to motorists. They are seated at important road junctions and on the outskirts of cities, so that tourists not willing to travel at night may stay over in these motels. Okay, the basic difference in between hotel and motel: motel is the type of hotel where whatever motorists are there, those will take food or maybe as per the requirement accommodation. And generally those motels we have to plan at junctions of the road or outside the city. Okay, and whatever hotels are there, those hotels we have to plan in a city uh, nearer to the railway station, bus station, or heart of the city. Okay, it depends. And another thing is there, that is nothing but the restaurants and bars. Restaurants and bars are places provided for eating and drinking, and whatever restaurant, hotels are located at a seaside uh, or river banks or near hills for holidays. Okay, means whatever resorts are there. Okay, generally resorts we are planning on the bank of river, seaside, near the hill station. Okay, uh, we are going to plan for resort hotels. Okay, then here different things are there in that. First thing is site selection of site selection for a hotel. Okay, location for a hotel is one of the most important factors for commercial success. Okay, depending on the location of market, hotels should generally be sited near main road or motorway intersections, railway stations, airports, commercial and business centers, or recreation centers. While selecting the site for a hotel, we have to take due care that hotel site should be nearer to the railway station, airports, commercial and business centers, or recreation centers. Okay, a hotel must be nearer to shopping centers and various other places of importance. Means whatever importance is there at that particular region. By considering that, we have to go for the site selection. Okay. Then another thing is there, that is nothing but the planning of hotel. Here The success of a hotel business depends almost entirely on its ability to attract customers. Many factors contribute to the success, but the most important one is the skillful planning and design of the hotel building. Okay, means whatever success is there of the hotel business, it depends on various things, and uh, in that one of the most important thing is there, that is nothing but the planning and designing of the hotel. Okay, in hotel various components we have to plan. Okay, in that entrance foyer, that is nothing but the entrance hall. Okay, then public rooms, bedrooms, kitchen and food stores, and building services. Okay, so these different components or units we have to plan in a hotel. We will discuss one by one here. Firstly, we will discuss about the entrance foyer or entrance hall. The entrance hall of a hotel is the center of all the activities of the hotel organization. The main entrance of the hotel should be located nearer to the road. The gate of the entrance hall should be 3 meter to 6 meter wide, and in that entrance foyer or entrance hall should be re- receptions counter, registration counter, then after that billing counter should be there in a entrance hall. Okay, apart from that, also we have to provide some waiting space also. Okay, and whatever reception room, lobby, and provide access to the main stairs and lifts and restaurants should be from the entrance hall. Okay, then next thing is there, that is nothing but the public rooms. In public rooms consist various things, maybe restaurant, bar, then recreation rooms, function rooms, and meeting halls. Okay, so these types of rooms or halls consist in public rooms. Uh, in medium and large hotel, it is common to provide more than one restaurant to give customer choice of a menu and price. Also, sitting capacities of restaurants vary according to the size of the hotel, amount of potential outside business, location in relation to other restaurants. Okay, so here uh, whatever facilities we are going to provide in that particular hotel, that also we have to think about it, and we have to go for the planning. Okay, and next thing is there, that is nothing but the uh, bedrooms. Okay, a bedroom is a service unit of a hotel building, and the number of bedrooms to be provided is controlled by the floor area and relevant prevailing building bylaws of the locality. Means whatever FSI is permissible in that particular locality, and whatever local rules and regulations are there laid by the local authority, with consideration of that we have to increase the number of bedrooms. Okay, as well as flow of the we have to go for the survey of peoples. Okay, by considering that, we have to go for the increase the number of bedrooms. Also, number of bedrooms will be depends on the uh, another things, means location. Then after that, region. Okay, कुठल्या region मध्ये आपण हॉटेल जे आहे ते सुरू करतोय, किंवा त्याचं लोकेशन काय आहे. ओके, त्याच्यावरती पण ते काय करते, डिपेंड करते. A bedroom forms a greater proportion of a hotel in construction is the key to economical design. Different types of bedroom blocks layout we are going to plan, such as I section, L section, F, H, Z section also. Okay, Z shapes also. Uh, so uh, also we have to think about sound transmission in bedrooms. Okay, generally, uh, 45 decibel to 50 decibel uh, sound should be there. Okay, then next thing is there, that is nothing but the kitchen and food stores. Okay, before going to discuss that whatever bedrooms are there, uh, we can go for the planning of a bedrooms, maybe for single bedroom, double bedroom, or twin beds. Okay, if we go for the single bedrooms, then the bed size should be 1 meter by 2 meter, and whatever room area is there, minimum room area should be 8.75 meter square to 16 meter square. Okay, and if we are going to plan two double bedroom, then we have to provide size of that bed as a 1.5 meter by 2 meter, and whatever room minimum room area is there as a 12.50 meter square, and maximum as a 20 meter square. And if we go for the twin beds, okay, then bed size we have to provide 1 meter by 2 meter, and minimum room area as a 13.50 meter square, and maximum area of that bedroom should not be more than 23 meter square. Okay, so we have to consider these things also while planning the bedrooms in a hotel. Okay, next thing is their kitchen and food stores. uh, Here, whatever kitchen should be planned at one level if possible, to serve all catering outlets. If it is not possible, main kitchen should be on level with main restaurant, with preparation and storage on different levels. Okay, um, what kind of service we are going to provide? Okay, uh, on that also, uh, place of the kitchen and food store depends. Okay, uh, generally, kitchen floors are to be finished with non-slippery tiles, and walls in a kitchen are tiled up to a height of 1.8 meter. Also, in a kitchen, we have to provide the gas, water, and plumbing supplies. Okay, so we have to consider these things while planning and design of a kitchen and food stores in a hotel. Okay, then next thing is there, that is nothing but the building services. Okay, in building services, we have to mainly focus on various things, such as emergency electric supply, fire alarm system, air conditioning, and lighting. Okay, uh, in hotel, uh, we should have uh, emergency electric power supply, as well as in case of event of fire, alarm system should be there. Then as per the requirement, we should provide air conditioning system, maybe central or maybe uh, isolated one, okay, to each and every separately rooms, bedrooms, or maybe whatever public rooms are there, okay. Then proper lighting should get at daylight as well as at night time, okay. Means whatever fluorescent tubes we are going to provide into the different units, maybe water closet or in a bedrooms, okay. It should be quick start fluorescent tubes, okay. uh, so um conveniency will be there. Then another thing is there, we have to concentrate on that thing while doing planning, that is nothing but the sanitary units, okay. Here whatever units we are going to provide, it depends upon per persons and for male and female, okay, in a public rooms. Water closet, one water closet we have to provide for 8 persons, okay. Then for this is related to the residential public and staff, and this is for public rooms. For residential public and staff, one water closet is required for 8 persons. Then ablution tap, one for each water closet. There is no requirement of urinals. Wash basins, one per 10 persons. Bath, one per 10 persons, and kitchen sink and dishwashers, one in each kitchen for residential, public, and staff. Okay. Then now we are going to discuss for public rooms. Water closet, one per 100 persons up to 400 persons, and for over 400, add at the rate of 1 per 250 persons, okay. Means up to 400 persons, uh, one water closet we have to provide per 100 persons up to 400 persons. And if people or persons are approaching more than 400 persons, then uh, whatever over more than the 400 persons, whatever water closets we have to provide as a one per 250 persons, okay. For males and for females, two water closets per 100 persons up to 200 persons, and for over 200, add at the rate of 1 per 100 persons. In this way we have to go for it. And ablution tap, one for each water closet for male and female in a public rooms. And whatever urinals are there, we have to provide one per 50 persons, okay. Then wash basins, one per water closet uh, for both the male and female section, okay. And there is not necessary for kitchen sinks and dishwashers, okay. Welcome back. Now we are going to discuss another type of public building, that is nothing but the office building, okay. The office work primarily involves handling information and making decisions based upon the information. So, whatever strategic planning and whatever documentation is there, okay, it happens in a office building. So, uh, various components are there in a office building, mainly entrance, corridors, storage, and sanitary units. These are the some components are there required in an office building. Okay, firstly we will discuss about the entrance. The size, type and location of the entrance is independent on whether the whole building is to be occupied by one office, number of firms, or whether the lower floors are accommodating shops and stores and upper floors are allocated for the offices. It depends. Okay, means whatever entrance is there to the office, it depends. Means what type of planning we are going to do. Means at a uh, uh, lower floor, whether we are going to provide the shops, uh, okay, and next to the floor, whether we are going to provide the uh, office building and all those things depends on its, okay, whatever entrance is there depends on the planning. For security point of view, one entrance is provided in office building which is occupied by one user. Means whatever width of the entrance is there, we have to provide limited one by considering the uh, security point of view. Okay. However, more than one entrance can be adopted if organization does not value security so highly and wants to allow free access to several internal functions. Means if any kind of organization is there and they do not, they want more security, in that case we have to go for the planning of number of doors to the entrance or exit doors to the office. Okay, then next thing is there, that is nothing but the corridors. The main circulation corridors should be of a sufficient width, not less than 1.8 meter and more than 3 meter wide. Whatever corridors we are going to provide in a office building should be at least of 1.8 meter and should not be more than 3 meter wide. Okay, a central corridor with rooms on either side is very economical. Through the central corridor system is economical. Offices arranged on the side of verandas are preferable because they protect office rooms from sun, wind, and rain. The corridors should be well ventilated and lighted by natural as well as artificial ones. Okay, so we have to take due care while provision of the corridors. Generally, we have to provide the corridors at a central place. Okay, and either side we have to go for the planning of different offices or units. Okay, then next thing is there, that is nothing but the storage. Filing cabinets are still predominant method of storing office papers, but many other possibilities exist, including suspended and lateral filing, which can be considerably more efficient in space use. Okay, uh, here microfilm can be used to reduce bulk of paper held in offices, but it may not always be acceptable substitute because of complexity of information stored, frequency of retrieval, cost, and legal documents to preserve original copies. Okay, here uh, also we have to think about the hanging files, utilize wall areas. Okay, uh, it should be about 87%. Okay, then if required, we have to go for the provision of trolleys for moving the files and all those things. And whatever light is required, uh, it is uh, 150 lux in corridors. And wherever drawing office is there, in that case we have to go for the provision of 300 lux illumination. Okay, so this is about the storage. Then next thing is there, that is nothing but the sanitary units. Sanitary blocks should be provided on every floor separately for either sex. For offices, either WC toilets are attached to their rooms or placed in separate rooms. Sanitary units should be provided on the scale recommended by the building bylaws, as provided by here, whatever by considering the male and female, whatever water closets are there. Okay, one water closet we have to provide for every 25% or part thereof. And for females, one water closet we have to plan for every 15 persons or part thereof. Then ablution tap, one for each water closet for male as well as for female. Okay, and whatever urinals are there, uh, up to 6 persons, there is not necessary to provide the separate urinals. Okay, um, one urinal we have to provide for 7 to 20 persons. Two urinals we have to provide for 21 to 45 persons. Three urinals we have to provide for 46 to 70 persons. And uh, four urinals we have to provide for 70 to 100 persons. Okay, so it depends on number of persons. Then wash basins, we have to provide one wash basin for every 25 persons. It is uh, for males as well as for females. Okay, then drinking water fountain, we have to provide one drinking water fountain for every 100 persons with a minimum of one on each floor. Okay, and whatever cleaners sink, we have to provide it one per floor. Okay, so in this way we have to go for the provision of sanitary units or whatever sanitary and water fittings are there. Okay, and then you can see here a typical layout plan of an of an office building. Okay, here this is the here we are going to provide the entrance. This is the working space. Okay, various counters we are going to plan here. Then here visitors room, then toilet block we have to provide it here. And then uh, for steno, we have to provide separate room nearer to the officer room. Okay, and to the officer room, we have to provide the attached toilet. And to store the stationery and records, we have to provide stationery and record room. And also we have to go for the planning of a lunch room. Okay, in this way we have to go for the uh, planning of an office building. Okay.